And I'll be wanting to hear more from Liu. But before we went for the break, I wanted to hear this from you, Balozi. How do we, as a country, convince China that Kenya is a good ground, is a well-suited ground to set up its industrial base overseas, and more so here in Africa?
Yeah, we can easily do that. The fear of any investor is that they might lose their money if they invest it in Kenya or another country, or they might not be able to cash out when they want to. But Kenya is one of countries in Africa who has got in place all the instruments to protect investors. Like in this case, Kenya is a member of the International Convention for Settlement of Investment Disputes, which is based in New York. Kenya is a member of the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, which means that there is an insurance. Say, for example, and this is a bad example, say there was a coup and Liu had invested, he will get paid within 30 days by the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. Together that, we also have the African Trade Insurance, working together with Lloyd. We also have the internal instruments like promotion and protection of investments. We also have avoidance of double taxation. All those things are available to these investors. And nobody should fear investing in Kenya because the money is safe and they are protected and they can take their money when they want to. The only issue which comes in with investors is that and now this is where the bilateral comes in, is many foreigners don't want to buy land because they don't want to get involved in selling land when they are leaving. But in Kenya, we have an arrangement where you can lease land for a period of time.
And also we have special economic zones
where
a Chinese company can set up base.
So there is no reason for anyone to feel insecure or threatened.
I want to hear this from you. I mean, we have just aired a story on the partnership between Xinhua News Agency and the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. When you look at the organization, and you're the deputy editor-in-chief for Africa, when you look at Xinhua, you have about 180 bureaus around the world. You have more than 10,000 employees. You've been around for almost 90 years now. And so you come on board with tremendous amount of expertise and, of course, our financial resources as well as technological advancement. What areas are you looking at when you were talking about partnering with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation?
Yeah, because that's a very good question. Because just as you said, that both KBC and Xinhua has a history of decades, almost 100 years. So it's a profound, I think, the foundation for our two news houses to establish cooperation. Because when the memorandum of cooperation on KBC and Xinhua was signed in front of the leaders of the two countries, that is a very huge moment. Because Kenya and China are countries that thousands of miles apart. And the people in the two countries get to know each other through our media houses. After the signing of the memorandum of understanding, Xinhua will have more access to KBC News products, and the KBC News products will be delivered through Xinhua to the Chinese people. Then the Chinese people will know more about the Kenya's dynamic economy, the KBC's the profound history of the KBC, and so the media houses will persuade people to increase their exchanges. So that is a very important side of the people-to-people exchanges between the two countries. And in terms of the cooperation between Xinhua and the KBC, we are talking about the talent training. We are talking AI technology, especially the AI technology now is applying to the media organizations in today's world. And we are talking about the joint efforts in organizing forums, in symposiums, that will increase the mutual understanding between the governments, between the social societies. So I think that is the magic, that is the power of media organizations in improving the bilateral relationships. So that's the future of our two organizations to work together, to improve our partnerships.
I mean, when you look at Kenya Broadcasting Corporation and the ties between Chinese media and the state broadcaster here in Kenya, you also have other media agencies, from China that are showcasing Chinese product on the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation platform. And so this new collaboration and partnership between Kenya and Xinhua, how then can the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation use the Chinese platforms to tell the stories of Kenya? Kenya is a great tourist destination. The people are so warm and friendly, and you can attest to these. So how then do we use the Chinese platforms to tell the stories of Kenya?
I think the one way is through the Chinese news media platforms, for example, such as Xinhua, because we are the official news agency of the Chinese government, and we have media outlets in every province of China, and we can deliver the voices of Kenyan people and the voices of KBC to almost every Chinese household. To let them know the beautiful beaches, the wild national parks, and the dynamic economy, to persuade them to put more investment in Kenya, to visit Kenya, and to enjoy the warmth that you just mentioned about Kenya, because I have been living in Kenya for 2 years. The warmth of people and the beautiful scenes are the most beautiful memories for me in Kenya.
And of course, as we say, I mean, Kenya, the Kenyan weather is the gold standard in the world when it comes to experiencing good weather. And you have it all here in Kenya. I mean, we have the deserts, we have oceans, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have mountains, we have valleys, and you have beautiful culture. And so Kenya has all it takes to attract and tap the Chinese tourism market. I want to hear this from you. Balozi, I mean, when you look at the Chinese tourists, I mean, they're emerging. The Chinese tourist market is the world's biggest. I mean, is the fastest growing in the world. The Chinese tourista is becoming a sought after a person in the world. And so, as a country, how do we reposition ourselves? Using these strategic relationships that we're having in China to tap into more Chinese tourists to come and visit this country?
That's a good question. But background on that, I feel that we are doing pretty well with the Chinese, because if you look at the figures for last year, 80,000 Chinese visited Kenya as tourists.
80,000.
80,000 out of the 2.4 million. Compare that with South Africa, who had 9 million tourists, and only 41,000 were from China. So what we need to do is to try to tap all the agencies and the young people. People don't just want to come and see a lion. They want to do more than seeing a lion. And that's what we need to create for them. People don't want to go to the national park and then be forced to sleep. They need other activities. So we need to cater for the young people. And if we do that, I'm sure we'll have more Chinese coming to Kenya. Take, for example, in Egypt. Last year, there were 300,000 Chinese who went to Egypt. What does Egypt have? Just pyramids? We have a lot more than pyramids. As Kimani said, we have desert. If people are going to Egypt because of desert, we have, what do you call the...
It's called the Chalbi Desert.
Chalbi Desert. We have the beach, and safer and better than any other country. We have a coastline, nobody can compete with us, and very safe. So if we put in place facilities for the young people, they will come to our national parks, and then they will enjoy life. We'll have more Chinese visiting Kenya.
Very good. I'll be coming back to more, to Leonard Kafafa with more. But before we get there, the aggregate of the Nairobi-Mau Summit highway that is commonly referred to as the Rironi to Mau Summit to a dual carriageway is likely to begin mid this year. And Chinese firms are among companies that have expressed interest in the project that is expected to be undertaken in 2 years.
The expansion of the 175-kilometer Ironi-Mau Summit Road connecting between Nairobi and Nakuru from a two-way traffic to a four-lane dual carriageway could begin in June this year if a contractor is picked from a number of companies that have expressed interest in the tender.
The commitment I want to give to you is that next year we will begin the construction of dual carriageway from Nairobi first to Nakuru, and then from Nakuru later we will take it all the way to Malaba.
Expansion dates for the Nairobi-Nakuru highway were revised after the government cancelled an earlier tender awarded to a French firm due to cost concerns. Under the initial deal, the French firm was to construct and operate the highway under a public-private partnership model. The French firm was to put up tolls along the road. However, the government said the terms proposed by the firm were exorbitant and unfavorable, making the venture expensive for the exchequer in the long run. The tender has attracted interest from various companies, among them Chinese firms. During the China-Africa Cooperation, a FOCAC summit, the Kenyan delegation pitched key development issues, including project ultimately border at highway western, especially during
the modernization project by there is a unlock a lot of investment in the significant going to central in a
Tanzania. But this road is particularly significant because it is the shortest route